Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. We begin with a 5 of Swords. I feel like you're usually a person who's very, very trustworthy. You know, I feel that you, when you give your word, you honor that word. Okay. I feel like you're not always ready to trust other people. Okay. And I think it's, in a way, you know how loyal you can be to people. And I think it brings you kind of a low threshold, a low tolerance for other people not doing what they say they're going to do, okay? I feel like there's somebody in your life right now that you're not really giving them a lot of trust, okay? Maybe they've sort of shown you that they're not trustworthy, or they're not very loyal, or that they can't be trusted with responsibility or something along those lines, okay? But meanwhile, you, I think, are still devoting yourself to them in some way, that you still are upholding your character and you want to be the trustworthy person. In other words, you're not lowering yourself. You know, you're not sinking to their level, so to speak. Yeah. And I wonder if this is a situation now with this other person. I don't know who they are yet, but where you're sort of wondering if it's still a worthwhile relationship, or if there's any kind of resolution here. Or if it's just like this is as far as it can go, you know. Let's put this card into a little bit of context. Let's see what else is going on with this. There we have the Moon card. I kind of feel there's a fear of perhaps not having this person around. We have a Queen of Cups. We have a 10 of Cups. We have a Queen of Swords. And we have a Princess of Wands. Interesting, a lot of court cards here. Heart and mind, right? Looking back at the past. We have a 3 of Wands. We have the High Priestess. We have an 8 of Cups and a 3 of Pentacles. I wonder if this is someone that you... Yeah, it could be a family member or a coworker, because I feel like it's somebody that you're going to have to be around, even though you can't really rely on them. And it may be that you really wanted this to be something more, or you wanted to be really close with this person, but it feels as if you can't trust what they tell you or what they do. I feel like they're kind of unpredictable for you, and maybe that feels a little unsafe. Okay. I don't know. They might be a Pisces person, maybe. They could be this fire sign. They could be a younger female energy. That seems a little bit unpredictable. And I feel like that's not really your style in life right now. You like things to be a little bit more familiar and recognizable. I think you like things to be organized. You like communication. You know, you like people who kind of, they say they're going to be somewhere at a certain time, and then they're there. I think you like more calm energy. This seems very chaotic. Okay. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it right here with Dwight K. Schrute right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Now, as we look around the room, we see two lunar energies, basically, two major arcana cards. We have the moon. This represents the new moon. It represents a narrowing of the psychic aperture, a closing of the third eye. Okay? An inability to see the energies, right? A kind of an uncertainty or a fear or the unknown, yeah. And then we have, of course, the High Priestess, which represents the full moon or the waxing moon, and represents a widening of the psychic aperture and an opening of the third eye. So I feel like this is a person in your life that you don't really know them as well as you thought you did. You're realizing now that you can't trust them, okay? That there is some level of uncertainty about their behavior or about their character, whether this is a family member or a friend. I kind of feel like it's a coworker or something like this, because I feel that you can't just like walk away from them. Like, they're going to be in your life, but you're realizing that you don't know anything really about that person. Not to the point where you're going to give them, the keys to your house or your PIN number to your ATM card or something, right? You're not trusting them. There's something about them that I think it's slowly dawning on you. You're slowly realizing something about them. Okay. So we have our majors. We have fire, fire, water, water, water. We have our air cards. We have some earth energy there at the end. Yeah. The Five of Swords and the Moon card. I think you're trying to get to know somebody. I think you're trying to sort of find out what kind of person they are. Yeah. I think you're trying to find out whether or not there is any kind of deeper connection. And, maybe it's a romantic thing. I guess it could be. Okay. But it feels like things are going to continue on, like this relationship isn't ending, but there's a lack of trust there. And so it may be that it's just like, we're just going to be friends, or we're just going to be coworkers or acquaintances, but I'm not going to reveal all my secrets to you. Okay? Because this feels like this person is kind of unpredictable, and that may make you feel a little unsafe. It feels as if the more time you spend with this person, the more you realize that you really don't know them. Okay? And they may be a fire sign person, it may be a younger female energy as a possibility. But the moon card is, to me, it feels like a revelation is coming. It feels like there is a secret that's being kept, and it is being revealed. Okay? Seems like whatever question you have about this person, you're going to know the truth. Yeah. And the interesting thing here in this reading is that we don't see what that truth is going to be. Okay? What we do see is that your virtue is going to dictate your behavior. The information that you're getting, okay, will help you to make a decision about what kind of relationship this is going to be. You have your fire and earth cards, right? So this is about your manifestation, about what you are deciding to do for your life, how you're going to make something work or not work, depending on what this information tells you. Okay? With the Ten of Cups in the background, I feel like you had high hopes. I feel like this was high expectations. You wanted this to be perfect. You wanted this to be the one, okay? And whether this is, maybe, I feel like we're talking about a person. It could be about the job itself. It could be a best friend. It could be a romantic partner. It could be a family member or something like this. I think that you really wanted this to be perfect. And your wish or your hope here has, in some ways, clouded your judgment, because when you go into something and this is your expectation, you really want this to be the one, sometimes your mind is going to find reasons why we should ignore the red flags, But I feel that this was kind of like, this was previous. It's a past card, right? So I think that you're experiencing something that is kind of putting this off the table for now, okay? You realize that this isn't what you thought it was going to be, And now you're kind of confused about what it actually is. And like I said, maybe it's the job, maybe it's a friend or a family member, or it could be a romantic situation. Whatever is the situation, we know it's not perfect. And now with the Five of Swords, you're trying to figure out what it is that is actually going on. Because the Moon card here shows a little solar disk at the bottom that's about to rise up over the horizon, I feel that the mystery here is about to be solved. Okay? And I don't know if there's some kind of a question you're trying to get some information from this person, or just get to know them and have a conversation, but it feels like they're very elusive, right? It feels like you're just trying to ask direct questions, and they're acting strangely. You know, they're acting like there's some big mystery going on, and it's starting to make you wonder if this person's just playing games, if they're just immature, and maybe that's why we see the younger female fire sign kind of person. And it may not be that exactly, but it feels as if they're sort of playing games, or they're beating around the bush instead of being direct and kind of answering the question. Maybe this is a conversation you're trying to have, and instead of giving you just a very simple answer, maybe they're getting angry, and they're deflecting, and they're avoiding, and they're trying to not answer your question. Okay? Maybe they don't have to, they don't want to, whatever it is, but it's making you wonder if you can actually trust this person or not. Okay? And with the Moon card and the waning of the lunar energy, the closing of the third eye, it feels like the more you try to talk to them, the more you try to gain some sort of knowledge about who they are, or their character, or anything like that, the more confused or lost you feel. See, the Moon card is kind of that dark, scary forest. And it seems like that's the relationship right now. The more you investigate, the more you talk to them, the more you try to get to know them, the more confused and lost it seems. Okay? Down beneath the surface, with your Queen of Cups, feels to me like you're understanding how much your emotional connection or your desires has played a role in this relationship for you. Okay. So the Queen is kind of lifting the veil of your own feelings here. I think you're a very sensitive person. I think you're very compassionate. I think honesty, truth, loyalty, and compassion, those are like two of your really big things. Like you're very much into, honoring other people, respecting other people, showing compassion and kindness, and being honest and truthful, as much as possible, right? And I think with this card, the realization as we lift the veil here might be that this person is not what you thought they were. And now you're perhaps wondering why it is that you wanted them to be that person so bad. Okay. So I'm feeling like you were really in your feelings with this situation. But what's happening now is there's a growing objectivity. It may be that some of your initial emotions are wearing off a little bit, or fading a little bit. Maybe this was a rush of emotion, especially with that 10 of Cups. It could be that it was just a lot all at once, and you got kind of carried away by the current. But now there's more of an ability to reflect. So we have the Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups, heart and mind reflecting on this situation. And I think you're able to understand more about kind of what you were wanting or what you were expecting versus what the reality is. Especially with the Queen of Swords here. This is a very objective card. This is a card that's saying you're taking it now a more bird's eye view of your relationship with this person. Or the other entity, I don't know, maybe it's just the job itself. It could be. Feels like a person, The objective viewpoint that is taking you outside of how you feel, regardless of what you wanted them to be, or how you felt about them, or what you wanted out of this situation, or what you expected, or, regardless of those feelings, this is the reality that you're looking at. This is that bird's eye view. See, the Queen of Swords is up in the air. away from the water. It's like you've risen up above the ocean and you're just looking down. You're thinking, okay, there are my feelings over there, but what's really going on? Okay. It's allowing you a much more sober view of this relationship. Okay. And I think as you look at the situation, I kind of feel like you're seeing this other person as the Princess of Wands, someone that maybe doesn't have the commitment that you have, someone that it maybe doesn't really want the same things that you want. Okay, and the Princess of Wands is not gender specific. This could be anybody. It seems like a younger female, could be an older male energy, right? The point is, though, that they seem like they are younger than you. It seems as if they don't yet have the same sort of life path that you have. They're not ready for what you are looking for in life. Okay. You might want this happily ever after. They might just want a little bit of fun for right now. Okay. Because this is a very impulsive card. So it feels like somebody who is not always in control of their behavior, somebody who's unpredictable and elusive, hard to pin down, hard to get any kind of straight answers from them. Okay. And you may even feel that they're playing some mind games with you a little bit. Okay. And again, could be a coworker, could be a romantic situation. Now, on the path of the serpent, we kind of see we see with some clarity over here. Okay. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. The readings are totally free. Your general energy is the Three of Wands. After you take this energy of the path of the dove, what the result of that is virtue. You're understanding the reality. This is the cold hard truth. This is you understanding what really needs to be done. The difficult, painful truth of something, or the challenging way forward. You know it's the right thing to do, but you know it's difficult. Okay. And this is different than actually doing the right thing. This is understanding the right thing to do. This is that virtue, right? But virtue, sometimes we can act in contrary to our virtue, right? I think it's very appropriate that you have the Three of Pentacles at the end of this path. Three of Wands, Three of Pentacles, fire and earth. This is you understanding the right thing to do. This is you doing the right thing. Okay? And to be honest with you, the Eight of Cups seems to be the big sort of elephant in the room, because this is in the position of what you don't want. And what this card represents is you making the choice between settling for something that you don't want, settling for something that doesn't meet your expectations, or choosing to walk away in search of greener pastures, right? So if you're getting involved with somebody and you want this happily ever after, this soulmate situation, this kind of family life, or this picture perfect life, but they don't really want to settle down and they don't want to have any kind of commitment or anything like that. This is the question now. Are you going to just accept the type of relationship that they're offering you, even if it's not really all of what you want? Or are you going to choose to walk away and be open to finding something that is more aligned with what you really want? Okay. And there's really no judgment here. You know, it's not as if you're saying that this person is a bad person, or that I don't think they're intentionally misleading you or leading you on or anything like that. But it may just be that you want different things. That you're a different person than they are. In a way where maybe, Tarot's not going to answer this question for you, but maybe the two of you aren't all that compatible. Okay? The High Priestess will guide you. The High Priestess, I think, is the dawning or the growing revelation. It is it's a waxing lunar energy. It's kind of like it's as if your third eye is slowly opening. And as time goes by, you're slowly getting a growing realization of the truth here. Okay, and I think very soon there will be no shadow left. There will be no doubt left that you'll know. And I think right now maybe it's a little tiny feeling that's maybe this person's not the right person for me, or maybe this isn't the relationship I thought it would be. I think as the next few days unfold, that feeling is going to go stronger until you have a glaring realization about what you need to do, okay? And then, of course, we see the Three of Pentacles, which is you doing that, following the path that may be the difficult path or may be the more challenging of the options, but you're going to know that it's the right thing to do. Okay. Let's look at our mystery card. I don't know what this could be. I have no idea. It might be another court card, okay? If anything, I think it might be a fire court card. If you have a prediction for this card, put it in the comments beneath this video. Well, let's see. It's a Knight of Swords, yeah. Okay, well, it's not fire, but it is a court card. And the Knight of Swords is a cardinal air energy, okay? It is, in a way, the clarity that you get from this sober view, bigger picture kind of thing, the cold kind of clinical reality of things, that might be what your decision will be based on. Okay? As this psychic aperture widens and you're able to take in more of the data, I think that this is you making the decision. This is you with kind of a clear path forward. Now, maybe this isn't romance, okay? Maybe this is just you not knowing what the heck to do with this relationship with this person. Maybe it's a friend, coworker, a family member, whatever. I think that you're going to very soon know exactly how to handle it, and I think that it involves you putting some distance between yourself and this person. Not inviting them into your life in any kind of an intimate way or personal way. Not giving them the keys to your car, your house, or the PIN number to your ATM card. Okay. And I feel like that's a smart move. It feels like you are, by your default mode seems to be to protect your energy. If there's the slightest bit of doubt, the slightest worry or fear about, I don't know about this person, trust it. It's better to protect yourself and be wrong than to not protect yourself and then regret it later. Okay, energetically speaking. So I feel that this is almost a preemptive decision that you're making, and it's kind of like you're making this decision based on your gut feeling, not on any kind of concrete evidence. Okay, but if you're saying I'm not gonna talk, I'm gonna distance myself from that person. It's a weird energy. I'm gonna put some space. That's the right thing to do. Okay, 3 of Wands. That is the right. You're a very virtuous person. You're not going to distance yourself from somebody that you really like otherwise for no reason. You know, so if you're making that decision and you feel something's kind of weird and you don't want them around, you're doing the right thing. Okay. Even if you don't have, and somebody, your friend might say, well, why? What'd they do? Well, they didn't really do anything, did they? It's just a bad vibe. And that is enough. Yeah. Now we're going to do an extended reading. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner. There's a link down below in the video description. New readings for Capricorn on Tuesdays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you are watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.